pride and joy. Do you remember? Who am I? What am I doing?
Where is the control room?
Where did the time go? How do we move so far away? Holding on, how much can we both take when life is an echo? I can't hear what you're saying when life is an echo. I can't hear what you're saying. Strong lessons burn brighter, that makes us two fighters. And what I'm asking tonight is, could we get back to where we started?
Hey guys, it's time. Happy 1st of September. She's back and she's feeling fabulous. I saved the first wearing of this top for the 1st of September every year. I used to always film a podcast on the 1st of September as well because I felt like I could finally talk all things autumn without people coming for me. But apparently it's the 22nd of September now, but I don't care. It's the 1st of September. It is windy, it is not cold, but it's also not hot. Have you eaten your breakfast? Did you get you some honey yogurt? I got it from, I think, Sainsbury's years ago. I bought it like 4 sizes too big for me. It's like really thick cotton that keeps its shape and doesn't go wrinkly, and honestly, it's just me in a top on the 1st of September and I love it. Right, where is he? Hold green grape up. Let's meet him. Go then, hold him up high. Everybody say good morning, green grape.
Good morning, green grape.
Right, that's enough.
Honey yogurt!
Yesterday, both kids completed their summer holiday rewards chart. So Penny got her Labubu. And honestly, I was very skeptical. I didn't really like them. I thought they were quite freaky. I really don't like the consumerism of them, but it's her money. So she spends it on what she wants. She's also just having the one. We won't be buying loads and loads and loads. But I actually think he's quite cute. Like, I think I like him because he's green, and there is a weird cuteness to him, and he's very soft. We are now proud pet parents of a Labubu. And Jeff got his video game that he'd been saving up. He saved up £60 for this game, and I'm so proud of him. Like, he's worked really hard to keep on track. Like, he's like doing really good time management. He's like been keeping track every week of how many boxes he's done, how many he needs to do by the end of the week, and it's been really, really good for him, I think. So we downloaded his game for him last night. So today I'm letting them have a cozy day at home because all he wants to do is play that game. Bless him, and he's worked so hard for it. And I also have a man coming round to fix a scratch on my car because we're getting a new car on Wednesday, and I don't want to get like a fine or anything for it. So I found someone who will do like, they'll come to you to do the fixing, and because we've got a double driveway, there's like plenty of space for that to happen. So we've got to be in this afternoon anyway, and I am feeling, honestly, I have woken up feeling so much better. Just gonna check my sausages. I haven't even put my last video live yet, but I'm kind of basically continuing straight on. Oh sorry, honey yogurt. I finished editing the last video on Saturday and uploaded it to Patreon that day, and I just found I was in really quite a negative headspace. And even though I think I was trying my best to like be positive and take care of myself, on Saturday night I was just like snapped at Mr. Penrose, and it just kind of really hit me just how low I was feeling. And I was like, the thing in my head was I've still got like 4 days left until the kids go back, and I don't know if I can handle those 4 days. I don't know if I can survive those days. I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so overstimulated, I'm so over socialized, and I've still got 4 days of this, and it just felt really desperate. And I woke up yesterday and I was like, Laura, stop, like, come on now. It's 4 days, and just because the kids are not back in school yet doesn't mean you... La Bobo! Oh, there you go, babes. There's your yog. There's your yog. There's your yog. Very good. There's your yog. Just because I'm not going to be fully back in my normal routine until next week does not mean that I cannot start my goals, my reset almost. Like, I think I was holding myself back, and I was letting the negative, the backbiting. There we go, that's nice. I was holding myself back. I was letting the negative voices just really take over. And I woke up yesterday and I was like, no, it's not gonna happen. Sausages already. I'm not gonna let these last few days of the holidays be sad because of the mood that my brain wants to be in. I can override it. There's a time and a place for leaning into it and to, you know, give yourself time and space, 100%, but I'm ready for action. I have felt over the past couple of weeks, I have been so unbelievably off my routine, and I'm really starting to physically feel the effects of it. And by routine, I mean like health, fitness, food. I've basically just kind of been in survival mode. And again, I'm not trying to be harsh on myself, because it's not like I've completely thrown off the wagon. Like, I've not been eating like a crazy person. I've still been, you know, prioritizing my health, but I've also been eating more of the foods I wouldn't normally eat, or just higher quantities of those foods that I like to keep an eye on, because I know they make me feel physically blah. Like yesterday, I woke up bloated yesterday, and you know, sometimes that's like normal and that's okay, but I could just feel in my body it was because I had not been nourishing and moving to my like optimal levels, the levels that work for me. And please remember, I'm just talking about myself here. I'm not saying that anybody else should eat or move the way I do. Like, it's a very personal thing, and this isn't a you should do this. This is just me. I have spent years learning my body, getting in touch with its core, what it needs, what it asks me for, after a lifetime, and I'm not exaggerating there. Like, my earliest memories, some of my, like, I've got memories from being like my children's age of like hoarding food and like eating it all in one go. It started at a very young age. Like, it's been like that for my whole life that I can remember. It's been a thing. So now when I get to a point where I don't listen to those internal cues, I feel it. I think it's 100% been affecting my mood, and physically I've been feeling sluggish and bloated. I've been staying up so late, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, which is just ridiculous, because like, yeah, I've not been having to get up as early. I've been getting up at like 8, 9 o'clock as of the kids, and that's gonna sting when we get back to school routine. I forced myself to get up at 7 o'clock this morning, which was good. But I think I'm very yappy. I'm like, the mood is boosted, and I get quite yappy in this situation. But I'm just ready to get back into a proper sleep pattern. So for me, that's 11 till 7. I'd love for it to be 10 till 6, but my lifestyle just does not allow that at the moment. Sometimes Jeff doesn't go to sleep until 9:30, so then that gives me half an hour with Mr. Penrose before I go to bed. No, like, prioritising that time for our relationship is more important to me than being up an hour earlier. So, but as long as I've got that 11 till 7, 8 hours, and it normally isn't the full 8 hours, anywhere between 7 and 8, and I'm good. But I think I've been more like, and I have been hitting 7 to 8 recently, but the timing of it, that late night, late morning, it just drags throughout the day. So I'm ready to get back on with the sleep routine. I have started a new book, which I'm really enjoying, which I'll go into later. And then I can't exercise as much as I want to this week, but I can be in control of what I put in my mouth this week. Like that is not affected by whether the kids are here or not. And I really locked into this yesterday. I had a big high protein breakfast and I did not think about food for, no word of a lie, 5 hours. And that was brilliant because food noise is something that still likes to have a little quiet buzz sometimes, and the only thing I find for me that helps food noise is making sure I'm full. So I'm just preparing a high protein breakfast, and then I'm going to have a nice lunch kind of mid-afternoon, and then I will eat with Mr. Penrose when he's back from the gym tonight at 8:30, which I know is quite late, but I might eat with the kids earlier, or make all our dinner in one, because we've got a HelloFresh this week, and then have mine at like 7, and then Mr. Penrose can have his later. I don't really know, but the aim of the day of life is 3 full nutritious meals where afterwards I'm like, I am full, I am done, I don't want to eat anything else because I am full. And I love that feeling now. I love feeling full. I used to hate it. It used to be like warning signs for me, but now it's like, this is the goal, to feel satiated and nourished with protein and fibre and healthy fats and delicious things. And the other thing that I want to do over these next 2 days before the kids go back to school, that I am more than capable of doing, is getting back on my organisy, sorting out vibes, and I tapped into that yesterday. You would have seen from the lovely B-roll opening, that was yesterday. I finally got in the garden. OMG, I picked up all the mouldy apples. I didn't finish mowing the lawn because it started to rain. I haven't done the edges, and it's on and off raining at the moment, so I'll just take my opportunity when I can get. Cleared out my veg bed. My sweet potatoes are still in there, but I don't think they're going to get big enough. Like, I had a little look and they're like this big. But I pulled everything out of my veg bed. I like picked my pumpkins and my squashes. Look, this is my little Anna squash. I call it an Anna squash because it was from a plant that my friend Anna gave me. This is my pride and joy. It was such hard work growing this guy, but look, the most perfect orange pumpkin you've ever seen in your life. This guy's gonna be decor until I put him in a soup. And then finally we have this one. Unfortunately, he's not looking so great on the other side. He was on the edge of my veg planter and he got blown off in the wind and hit the floor. So he's got this big, and he snapped off, which is why his leaf is still here. And I like stuck the end of his leafy thing in some water to try and encourage it. But over the past couple of days, this has appeared. So that's a shame, but I am still thinking I could maybe chop him in half and roast up this side so that he's not completely wasted. I don't know what these kind of pumpkins taste like. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I learned a lot from my pumpkin growing this year. I didn't get any pumpkins last year. Next year I'm going to put them in the ground, not in my veg box, because they take up a lot of space and they want space to crawl, and if they're on the ground then they're not going to get blown over or anything like that, or damaged or bruised. So yeah, hopefully more pumpkins next year. My God, how long have I been talking for? I don't know where the timer is on this new thing. Oh, there, 15 minutes, Jeebus. Very long story short, it's the 1st of September, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling productive, I am ready to take my life back into my own hands, nourish myself, move my body when I can and not beat myself up about it if I can't do it, and to just bring some order to this house. We've got kitchen cupboards to sort out. I'd really like to sort out my wardrobe because it is absolute state in there, and there's still loads of summer clothes that I'm not going to wear now. I want to do the big swap, clear out. I've got like makeup and accessories and just stuff that I do not use. I just want to get rid. Honestly, at this point I'm tempted to order a skip, and I still think I might do that, mainly because our garage is still full of leftover builders materials. Crap that the people who used to live here left in the garage, and we've been here for 5 years, and there's just so much stuff that I can't recycle, that it just has to be thrown away. The thing that stops me doing it is the to and from the tip, to and from the tip, to and from the tip, and I'm like, do I just get a skip? Just get a small skip and get it all done in one go. We'll see, we'll think about that, but it's time to crack on with the day. Healthy breakfast. Oh, we also need to talk knitting because there's some good updates. I'm going to make a bit more time for knitting today as well because I'm really loving my project and I'm hoping I can finish a section of it today. But let's eat. Let's eat. Same breakfast as yesterday. I've got a wholemeal piadina wrap thing from Crosta Merlica. Really good ingredients. Avocado, there's some chicken sausages under there, lettuce, egg, and a big bowl of melon. And that is 30 grams of protein in there and 6 grams of fibre. Nice. I've got my coffee. I've got my hand knit socks on. Life is good. Ooh, thumbnail.
So you wouldn't forget her. Wish I could care less. It isn't my place to know what it says. My heart is a front page. It won't act its own age. It aches as it bends, folds at the edges. I'm out of my head.
So I just spent the last, what's the time? 12:30. 3 hours I have been editing. I've edited this video so far, and I was also editing Mr. Penrose's latest painting video. It's a bit different this time, as he did like an indoor painting of a picture because it rained basically our whole holiday. It was an interesting one to edit. There's some areas where we could improve on just from just like the quality of the image kind of thing, but still really, really good, still definitely usable. Just we're still very much in that learning phase, I think. And moving forward into autumn winter, there is going to be more inside painting, so I think we might need to invest in like a soft light box potentially, which I think would be a really good investment for both our channels going into winter. But I finished that now, and I've just watched a video about bread. I'm gonna make some bread. I'm gonna make a sandwich loaf. I've done it before, like a yeasted bread, not a sourdough. I've never really felt the need to make my own sourdough, only because we've got an excellent bakery 2 minutes away from my house. We're very lucky in our village, and they make proper handmade sourdough, and I can get that 6 days a week if I want it. Again, very, very lucky. And for the time and effort that we're going to make in it, I would rather spend the money and support a local business. So I don't feel the need to make sourdough. But the kids, Jeff likes sourdough, he likes it toasted, but as far as when it comes to sandwiches, they are still very much soft, white, ultra processed bread. Now, making bread, I don't personally think it's that difficult as long as you like follow the science of it. It just takes time, but even then, the actual physical time it takes isn't that long. The time is in the proving, and you're not sitting there staring at it for 2 hours, are you? You need to get the stuff done. But it does kind of mean you need a day where you're like at home all day to do it, and so this is a perfect day. And we are out of bread, and I just think it would be a nice thing for me to do. Kids are having packed lunch on Wednesday because they don't like what they can get at school on a Wednesday. It's a roast dinner and they don't like it. So packed lunch on Wednesdays always. So it'd be nice to have bread for that. And if it all goes wrong, I've got time to buy another loaf. But before we go make bread, look at my September sweater. It's really looking like a sweater, and how appropriate that it is September. I finished the body. I love those little brioche increases just before the rib here. That's because the gauge of the rib and the brioche is very different, and if you didn't do the increases, then this is not a great spot lighting wise, is it? If you didn't do the increases before the 1x1 rib band, it would be too small and it would cinch in, and they just look so pretty. I did a tubular bind off, and it was surprisingly quick. It took me precisely 24 laps of the Dutch Grand Prix to do it. Oh dear, don't lose stitches, don't lose stitches. And I'm now on a sleeve. I picked this sleeve up yesterday, and I did have a knit night with my friends last night as well, so I had a decent amount of knitting last night. But this is how much we've done. You've got some decreases on the underarm here. Again, so beautiful. I find brioche decreases more fiddly to work than increases, but once you've done it a couple of times, it's fine. I struggled to pick up the right amount of stitches for this sleeve, and I remember this happened last time, and I think it's because when you're doing the yoke, it's by measurement, Like, it doesn't say X amount of rows, it's until you get to this bit. And obviously my row gauge was slightly different to that of the pattern, so I had more rows than Petite Knit would have had. So I had more spaces to pick up from, and I ended up picking up 4 extra stitches than needed, but that was okay, because when you do a brioche decrease, just the same as brioche increase, you have to increase or decrease 2 stitches at a time. So I just basically did a cheeky extra decrease right at the beginning. So I picked up and then worked a few rounds and then immediately decreased. So I, like, from this point on, I've got the right amount of stitches and then just decreased as said. So I've done 1, 2, 3. I'm about to hit my 4th decrease, and there's 5 altogether. And I think this is also one of those patterns where the sleeves feel really short, but because there's quite a big drop on the shoulder, it will be longer than it looks. I haven't blocked this. You can kind of see where I haven't blocked it. It's about here that it's not being blocked. But I haven't actually tried it on yet. So shall we? Should we put it on and see how my sleeve is looking? So yeah, I haven't properly checked the length on me either, but you see, like, we're past the elbow now. We've not got, yeah, so we're about halfway. And so I've probably got about this much and then this much until I've finished the decreases, and then it will just be straight, and then it will be cuff. I want my sleeves to be quite long. Once I finish the decreases as well, I will block it, because obviously it will change quite a lot. It should grow a little bit. From blocking this, I did get some growth in length, but not a huge amount, and I think that's because my gauge is quite tight. If my gauge was loose, if I was using bigger needles, I would probably get more growth, but we haven't. So let's check the length. So obviously it's coming in a little bit because it's not been blocked yet, but when it's blocked, it will be a little bit more relaxed. I think it's perfect length. Perfect jumper length for me. Woohoo! Obviously it's kind of hard to tell with leggings, but overall I'm super happy. I think I could maybe do with blocking a little bit more width in the collar, because it is on the neck. I tend to prefer a collar to be, especially a folded collar, to be a little bit more like down here, like right at the base of the neck. This one goes up the neck a little bit, and that's probably to do with choosing a smaller size. Maybe I would have been better with a bigger neck hole size, but then fudged it to be the smaller body size. But again, we'll see. I haven't fully wet blocked it. I can always stretch it out a little bit if I need to, but also I'm quite warm right now, so I'm very conscious of it. If it was cold, I think I'd probably be less conscious of it. And the yarn is super, super soft. It's Isager Soft, I think that's what it's called. So a blown alpaca and cotton yarn, so super soft and squishy and fluffy. Yay! I want to do a reel when I finish this sleeve, where you do that thing where you like take pictures where you can't see the sleeve you haven't done. It looks like a finished jumper, and use that meme music that's like September by Earth, Wind and Fire, but like bad recorder, like it does the and it's like and like show the sleeve for that. It can either be really funny or really lame, but I need to take this off because I'm hot. But that's your little September sweater update. I really am considering just powering through on this now until it's done. I did finish my first sock for my sister's birthday socks, and I've cast on the second one, and I'm a good halfway through the leg, but I'm not seeing her until the 13th of September, and I'm taking her out for dinner, which is when I will give her her presents. So I'm on no rush on that. And socks are really good editing, knitting. I did knit on this a little bit whilst editing Mr. Penrose's video, but I've got to look what I'm doing with this, and I also need to look at what I'm doing with his. When I'm editing my own videos, quite often I just sit and listen to myself chat, and I can tell when I need to cut or break or like edit basically. But with Mr. Penrose's, I need to look at the screen like for the whole thing. But let's go make bread. It is 1 o'clock and I'm not hungry. Honestly, hitting that 30 grams of protein at breakfast, it's such a game changer. Not only do I like not feel hungry right now, I kind of still feel full. Like when I put my brain in my stomach and check in with myself, I'm like, no, there's still plenty of food in there. Like I can feel it. I also started the day with a big glass of water, and I've had a big coffee as well, so volume wise there was quite a lot of liquid in there as well. But I'm definitely, no part of me wants to sit down and have a full meal right now. So I'm going to do the first bit of my bread, get that going, and once that is proving, I'll then probably make myself like a light lunch. I've definitely found I'm better off with a nice big breakfast, light lunch, and then bigger evening meal, because it kind of does the same thing for me mentally. If I have a nice satiating big evening meal, it takes the food noise away for the evening. Now, I have chocolate every night. That's a non-negotiable for me. I have 2 squares of mint dark chocolate. Could be 4 squares some nights. It depends how I'm feeling, but I always have a little something sweet in the evening with a cup of tea, herbal tea. And that's just my routine. That's just what I love. And if I've ever there are nights I don't do that because I just don't think about it or I don't feel like it. But when I, in the past, have said, no, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop having sugar in the evening. Do you know what happens? I last a couple of days and then I'm like, give me all the chocolate, and it's just not good. So like having that little thing every evening I love, but I used to really, really struggle with evening food noise. Like even if I'd had a decent meal, I'd just be constantly thinking about food. Like I'd wait until Mr. Penrose had gone to bed and then I'd like start picking, or like I could be absolutely fine and I'd get up to go to bed and it's almost like a part of me couldn't go to bed unless I ate something sweet before I went to bed. And it took me ages to get out of that habit, and I think a big part of it again is like a satiating meal. And we always go high protein in the evening as well, usually because Mr. Penrose goes to the gym 3 out of 5 nights a week, so I want him to have a decent whack of protein when he gets back from the gym for his recovery. But yeah, it just works out all round. So I tend to like lunch wise will be, I don't know what it will be today. I'm on a bit of a tuna kick at the moment. I'm really enjoying tuna, either in like a wholemeal pitta or on like those nice seedy crackers that I have. But maybe I'm feeling a salad today, like fresh, cold, crunchy. Come on, it's supposed to be autumn. Why do I want fresh, cold, crunchy? I did prep ingredients for leek and potato soup at the weekend. That's in the freezer, so all I have to do is thaw that and like blend it up, add milk, butter. I also made cheese sauce, and I was thinking I could put some cheese sauce in the leek and potato soup to thicken it further and kind of add a cheesy hit. Ooh, maybe I'll have that tomorrow with some of my homemade bread. We'll see how I feel. I'm very much just intuitive when it comes to what I choose to eat. I very much go with what I'm in the mood for. I'm not a planner. I don't like planning ahead. I like to kind of go with what I feel in the moment. I ended up cancelling my HelloFresh, not in time to cancel this week's delivery, but even though it was really great on holiday, I still kind of ended up with quite a lot of leftover ingredients because I kind of like went off the idea of some of the meals that I chose. We've got it this week, 4 meals for 4 days, 4 meals for 4 people. So we've got a lot of food to get through, but I'm looking forward to just getting back to my normal like food shop and kind of eating what I want when I want, rather than it being predetermined. But anyway, let's go make bread. So I'm using a recipe from a video by Claire Saffitz, and it's a video for making Uncrustables, which isn't something I've ever heard of before. I think it's an American thing, but they're these like peanut butter and jelly sandwich pocket things. But in it, she makes a white bread recipe, and it's very different to what I would normally do. And you start by making it's called a tang zhong, but it's basically a roux. So you get flour, milk and water and cook it until it's a bit thick. However, in the video, she says you take the flour from the amount you would be putting into the bread. But then in the description, she's got the ingredients for the roux and the ingredients for the bread. She doesn't mention if the amount she's put for the bread is minus the stuff for the roux or not. So it's a little bit confusing. So I've taken the 50 grams away from the amount suggested because I can always add it in. I can't take it away. But if I find, and it's the same with the milk and the butter, not butter, the milk and the water. like it's not very clear. So that's a bit annoying, but we'll see how we get on. So I've made the roux. It's nice and thick, but it needs to cool down a little bit. So I'm gonna put that into my cold mixing bowl because that'll cool it down. And the whole point of this, having this roux, apparently, is that it helps the loaf hold on to moisture better, which ultimately is what is going to make it soft. So I'm just going to spread that out like around my bowl. It doesn't matter if it's warm, but you don't want it to be hot. So I'm just going to do that to cool it down. See that it's hot, let that cool down. And I'm just going to tidy up. I've already measured out all my ingredients for everything else. I've also only got semi-skimmed milk because I had to pick it up late last night from the shop and it's all they had left, like this giant semi-skimmed milk. So I don't know if that'll make a difference to whole milk. Now I really want a glass of milk. That's a really good protein hack if you eat dairy. Just have a glass of milk, man. It's like 6 or 7 grams of protein just in a glass of milk. It's delicious. Cheers. And we need to go and pick some apples. They're dropping like crazy at the moment. Right, let's clean up. Do you remember 21st night, September? That scratch has been there for 1.5 years, and 2 days before it gets given back is when I finally got it sorted. But that's ADHD for you, my friends. Now, I was a little worried I'd effed this up because I put it in a warm, sunny spot, but I also left the door open, so there was a cold breeze. But as you can see, there's a dome on top. Oh, yeah, look at that. That has definitely doubled in size. I was a little worried about this one because it was kneading for quite a while, but it wasn't getting window paney and stretchy. But then also the video didn't mention anything about the window pane test. Now is a good time for me to answer a question that popped up in my Q&A. Someone asked, did I used to be a baker? And the answer is yes. I know I mentioned it recently, only in passing, but yes, I was a baker for 1 year. It was after I'd been working in restaurants and I couldn't handle the hours anymore, the evenings, the weekends, so I wanted to change things up, and there was a bakery opening literally around the corner from where I lived at the time. And they also needed like front of house, so someone to serve, someone to make coffee, all of which I knew how to do. So I had to take a pay cut, but I absolutely loved it. It was one of the best years of my life. I really enjoyed it. So I was mainly front of house, but I was also being taught the baking side of things at the same time. I specialised more in the pastry side of things. I would do the croissants, puff pastry, all that kind of stuff. I did do some breads, I did do some cakes, and obviously I learned a lot in that time. Unfortunately, it didn't end very well because the owner and I ended up really clashing. I now know that that was massively because of my ADHD, and I suspect that they were also on the spectrum. Obviously, I can't diagnose them, but we just really didn't get on. It was great for the first 6 months, and then for the second 6 months, it slowly started to dwindle. And they let me go 2 days before I would have been there for 1 year, and at the time, you basically don't have any right. You can be dismissed with like no notice or whatever, I think for the first 2 years now, but I think at the time it was 1 year. I don't know, basically I had no rights for unfair dismissal because it did feel unfair because the reasons they gave were not, I didn't believe that they were correct, especially when I had been like desperately trying to get information and feedback and progression from them for ages, but I wasn't even getting one-to-ones, I wasn't even getting meetings, I was just having to turn up and get my head down. And then also they employed someone the week after they fired me. So they told me it was because they couldn't afford me. Clearly that wasn't the case. But anyway, that was totally random. But yes, I was a baker. I learned a lot. It was, I used to think of it really badly because of the way it ended, but now I just look back at it and just remember how much joy I had for at least the first 6 months and how much I learned. So that is where a lot of my food knowledge comes from, and also years and years and years and years running restaurants and pubs. Obviously in that time I was interacting with chefs and all that kind of stuff a lot, so learned a lot there as well. But the next stage of this is to knock it back, shape it and put it in the tin. I haven't preheated the oven. Okay, so I'm gonna cover this guy up, let him proof for 10 minutes longer and preheat. Okay, I haven't checked on the recipe what temp it should be, but I've put it at 240 because the oven does need to be hot for bread. And I'm also gonna chuck a cup of water into the bottom of the oven when it goes in, and that hit of steam creates what we call oven spring, and that can help with the rise as well. But I'm not too worried about the rise on this because it's looking good. I need to get my pan ready. I've got a bit of a headache. I think I have been clenching my teeth. Something I do when I concentrate. I don't grind, but I do clench, and I think I've been doing that a lot today. Don't really know why, but I've got a bit of a sore head. I've been doing quite a lot of knitting today. Should we go and get it? I was watching the latest video from Dr. Faye Bate, and it's all about sleep and everything. Something I, as mentioned, have been working on. So that was really, really interesting, and I basically got quite a lot done whilst I was watching that video. At least it feels like it. I mean, though, this is the thing with brioche, man. I've been working on this sleeve all afternoon, and I've probably got about that far. I've done the final decrease. Yeah, I've added that much on in that time. And I've got like one to at least twice that to go plus cuff. But I think I will give this a steam block now just to see how much it grows. Whilst the oven is heating up, that's a good idea. Okay, so my sleeve is, let's go. I like inches for sleeves. It's 14 inches, okay. Heat protective gloves, learnt that the hard way. I've also put my sleeve on some try it on tubing because I could have kept it on the needles, but the heat from the steam blocking can like deteriorate the cables, and we don't want that. Okay. Oh, it's not got a thing on it. Mr. Penrose. I'm just like hovering it over. I'm not like ironing it. Open up those ugly stitches. I am touching it a little bit, but it's got this protective guy on it, so it's not like the pure heat. I also like to just kind of take that fold off. I like turning it over and just going over the bit, same this way around, where there would be like a line. And while we're here, I'm just gonna do the hem. Really open that up. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, so we said 14 inches. 1 inch of growth would be nice. Hey, 15, there you go. So over that whole 14 inches, I got an extra inch on that. That's really not a lot, like I expected more of that, but I think it's just my gauge, isn't it? So she'll be a little damp. That's like the perfect fit is just sitting there, and so if I'm wearing trousers, I can do a little French tuck, though apparently that's not cool anymore. But yeah, very happy with this. If anything, I probably could have gone a teensy bit shorter in the length, but that's something I can always sort out if it was a problem in the future. Literally in the middle of a sentence, darling. What's up, baby girl?
I want to smoothie and the work some, okay?
Okay, you can get yourself a smoothie. I'm hoping the second sleeve feels quicker. What am I talking about? The bread needs to prove again before it goes in the oven. Oh. Darlings, same outfit, different day. I actually ended up wearing this for about an hour yesterday, so I'm wearing it again today. It is Tuesday. I had to abruptly stop filming last night because my headache got really bad. It was very intense, but I took some painkillers and that helped. But I ended up last night just getting dinner made and spent a little bit of time chilling out in the evening, and then went to bed not early, but decently early, and my headache eventually went. So today has ended up changing plan quite significantly. I had one of the mums message the group, the like school class group chat yesterday, saying if anybody could help with childcare today because she didn't realise they actually weren't in school today. So I volunteered because it was one of Penny's good friends, and I thought it would be something, a nice way to end the holidays. Like, you'd think bringing another kid into the mix would make things harder, but it actually makes things easier because Penny is now completely entertained, and I'm going to take them all to soft play in about half an hour because that is something else that they really wanted to do, and I really don't mind soft plays. You'd think for someone who was like overwhelmed easily, I'd hate soft plays. If you don't know what a soft play is, if you're not in the UK, it's basically like usually a big warehouse somewhere where there's like big like soft play area. So there's like slides and climbing and ball pits and just loads of random stuff. This one's got trampolines and other things like that, and they love it, and Jeff still loves it. He likes this one in particular, so that's why we're going there. Yeah, I'm just gonna knit because I'm so close. I am so close to finishing my September sweater that I have decided that the rest of this vlog is going to be all about finishing the September sweater. I've already edited it up to this point. I'm at about half an hour. So by the end of this video, you're going to see my first FO in what feels like years. This is the first time I've knit a sweater by somebody else in literally years. The last time I finished a sweater was my Maxine sweater, which was this time last year, I think. Yeah. So it's been a while, and last night I finished the first sleeve and I've already started the second. So I reckon if I really like put my head down, I could either get it finished tonight or by the end of tomorrow. Now tomorrow I've got my nail appointment because I am so ready to get rid of these yellow nails. Oh, they were done by like an apprentice, so they're not the best, and I'm also very much over. I like the colour, but I'm ready for autumn. We're gonna go for this kind of rusty vibe, and I'm so excited. So I'll get my nails done tomorrow, and then I've got the gym, so I'm not gonna have a huge amount of knitting time tomorrow, but hopefully by the evening at least, like in the next day or two basically, it's gonna be done. I'm so excited. So I finished the sleeve last night, as you can see. Here, she's all done, and then I immediately picked up the second sleeve. Like, the best way I find to get rid of second sock syndrome or second sleeve syndrome is to just immediately start the next one, even if it's just a few rounds. I think literally last night I'd done like 2 rounds because I had a headache and I wanted to go to bed, but I was like, if I don't do this now, it won't get done. And this is the amount I've done this morning whilst editing. So yeah, it's pretty good. Once the decreases get going, it gets going pretty fast, and I feel like the second half of the sleeve was like significantly faster than the first. Now, I did end up adding, oh, postman, anything fun? No. So, as I was saying, I did lengthen the sleeve a little bit. I realised that my decrease is a little too close together. I did it to pattern, it's like every 7 centimetres. However, when I've taken 7 centimetres from my blocked gauge, it's like 4 extra rows than what I was doing it to. I was taking my 7 centimetres from my unblocked gauge. That's such a rookie error, but we all do it. So I was left with quite a long chunk before my cuff, but again, like, it's fine. It's only a little bit more than like what another decrease would have been. I also made the sleeve longer than recommended anyway because it was feeling short, and considering it only grew by 1 inch over 14 inches, I wasn't going to get much extra from what I'd done, and it was just sitting a little bit high on the wrist for me. I like to have at least a little bit extra, and so I'll probably get a little bit even more. So I have gone longer than the pattern, and that's just my preference, that's just me. So yay. The other thing I noticed when I was editing this morning is that my pickup around the neck has got a hole, and that will probably just be from when I've picked up from a bit of a dodgy spot, and I did not notice this when I was like looking at it on me, but I did notice it in the camera. So it's just about like here, there's kind of almost 3, like 1, 2, 3, just kind of obvious holes from where I've picked up for the neckline. Now, what I could do, I've got a couple of options here, and the first thing I'll do is I will just get a strand of yarn, weave it in, and just kind of sew those holes closed, or kind of maybe even like create an extra stitch in that space to fill in that hole. And if that looks all right, then all good. The second stage will be to undo, because it's folded over and knitted down, I'll undo that round where I've knitted it down to this point, and when I do that action, I will pick up or try and fix those little gaps that way. And then the third option would be to rip back the entire collar and redo that pickup. But I don't think I'm going to have to do that. I should be able to fix it just by going in and tightening up that little gap, really. Or even just filling it in. So yeah, I think that's something to look out for when picking up stitches for brioche. I've kind of got a similar kind of thing at the bottom of the underarm. I have got a little bit more of like open spaces down here. I wouldn't even call them holes, just more open spaces, but it's at the armpit. You can't tell, like nowhere else on the arm pickup do I have those funny little gaps. I suppose maybe that one is a little questionable as well here, like at the join. So again, I could easily go in and just kind of pull that shut or fill it in, but that's the thing, it doesn't really matter to me. I can make it work. I am not afraid of like undoing my work to make it perfect. It's something that you definitely learn as a designer, so I'm not afraid of that. But I'm not even going to have time to drink my coffee because I need to put the kids in the car now and take them to soft play. So it'll also be the last time driving my car today because it gets swapped for a new one tomorrow, which is exciting. But drink my coffee and then get the kids to soft play. Thunder. Isn't it beautiful? I really need to bring the cushions in because I don't think we're going to be sitting outside again. In fact, I haven't actually sat outside on the sofas, front or back, for ages. And there are so many dead plants. Do you know what I need? I need one of those sunny autumn days to finish off the rest of the gardening. I think I might be the coziest person in the world right now. I did it. I finished it. I can't quite believe it. I wet blocked it last night. It's been drying overnight on the Aera, and I'm a little bit like, who am I? What am I doing? What have I become? I've just finished a garment. So I was overcome by hormonal rage last night. And I'm still struggling a little bit this morning, if I'm honest. My mood is quite low, which is a shame because I've had such a lovely couple of days and I've just finished editing what I've got so far. I was in such a good mood yesterday. It was raining, I was cozy, like life was perfect. I even watched Gilmore Girls, and I've realised what it is about Gilmore Girls that I struggle with. It's not that they talk fast, it's the sarcasm. It's constant, non-stop sarcasm, and my brain does not process sarcasm like normal people. So it's really hard to explain. I can normally tell if someone is being sarcastic through their body language, and it's much easier when I know someone very well. If it's someone I don't know at all, it causes me a lot of stress and anxiety when people like joke about something or use sarcasm. My brain isn't going, oh, is that real? Is it not? It just takes things literally. Like, if that's what you say, then for me, that's what you mean. I don't do nuance. I don't do like, and do you know what? It can be really difficult, especially when someone's communication style is very sarcastic or jokey. Like, there are certain people in my life that I really struggle with that. But Lorelai Gilmore is the most sarcastic person on the planet, and I just, even though I know she's being sarcastic, it's still like, it just like, But I'm going to keep going with it because it's beautiful background knitting telly, even though we are now finished. I've been working on my sister's sock whilst I've been editing. There's not really much to show there. And I've got another gift knit that I want to finish this week or this weekend. But then the next project I think will probably be, I'm going to go back to my another Petit Knit sweater, my Elizabeth blouse. I've done a sleeve, the collar, bit of the yoke. Very different to this, but I think that's probably next up. But let's talk about this. I'm so glad I added the extra length to the sleeve because they are perfect in length. Now, it didn't relax and grow as much as I thought it would with the wet block. It definitely helped. It's definitely improved the fabric. But I probably could have had a touch more positive ease on this one. I think I probably would have been all right with the medium, even though last time it was so bad. My gauge is actually correct this time. So the medium probably would have been better. Well, not necessarily better. It would have been fine. I still really, really like the fit of this. My battery is going. It's still cold. Yeah, I'm actually really, really pleased with the fit on this. It is, I'm going to do my best to show you. I'm not going to do any like fit B-roll because I'm just not feeling great like self-esteem body-wise at the moment. I get purely hormonal, like I'm fine. I know my body hasn't changed or anything like that. It's just that point in the luteal phase where you're just like, just feel bleh about everything. So I don't really want to like stand and pose in front of a camera at the moment. But you can pretty much see what we're going with here. We've got a little bit of like coming in-ness from the rib, but I think that will relax over time. But basically, there is a little bit of positive ease to it. It's not tight, but it's you know, not over the top. I think the place where it's most evident is the sleeves. There is like, the sleeves are like just about right. There is some space, but they're not in any way oversized, the sleeves, I'd say. And do you know what? I'm really, really happy with this. I think brioche, this kind of fabric, it doesn't necessarily like drape that well. I don't think it's quite rigid, which is great for many different reasons. But if I was to have much more than this, I'd have the problem I had before where it just kind of feels a bit like balloony and frumpy. Like my last one felt really frumpy. So yeah, I'm glad that I've got the amount of these that I've got. At the end of last year, I bought a jumper from Mango, I think it was from, and it was like white, and it was kind of like a rib, like a big bit of pearl and then a little bit of knit. And I have kind of recreated this in a design, but that design's been put on hold because I fell out of love with the project. But this jumper is very much giving vibes of that commercially bought jumper that I had. I loved it. I wore it constantly, but it went grey in the wash and it kind of felted a little bit, and the texture of it was just never the same after I washed it. But I wore it a lot, and it was because of the fit. It was basically this exact fit, and I would wear it a lot with jeans. I've got a little black kind of mini skirt that's like a flippy skirt that I wear a lot in the winter with thick black tights and boots. Like if there was ever kind of like a meal or an occasion, I'd wear the flippy black skirt and a jumper, and it just made me feel so good. So I know that this jumper is going to go perfectly with that outfit, and honestly, I hope you can tell, like I'm feeling really good about it. I'm looking forward to kind of styling it and trying it with different items in my wardrobe. And if I do find like successful pairs, I'll probably show you in a future video. But for now, it is done. And I highly recommend. I've really enjoyed this pattern. There are some trickier moments in it, not like difficulty wise, but just the way the pattern's explained. It's not very well explained at some points, kind of like the picking up of the shoulders and stuff. But if you're going to attempt an all over brioche jumper, then you probably have got the knowledge to deal with it anyway. But I have ordered yarn to make two more little ones. When I was at the soft play yesterday, Penny's friend was sat with me finishing off her lunch. She was like, "What are you making?" And I showed her. She was like, "Oh, that's really nice. Oh, it's so soft and fluffy. Oh, it's lovely." And I was like, "What's your favourite colour?" She was like, "Red. I love red." So I ordered some red yarn. I've ordered some of the, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Haze by Yarn Smiths, which is the yarn company owned by Wool Warehouse. And I know this is a new yarn. It's a blown fluffy yarn, but it's acrylic and cotton. So perfect for the little ones. Washable. Her grandma does knit, so I think her mum is used to taking care of hand knit items, but I just wanted to be sure. So, and it's really nice as well because it's not like solid red, it's almost got a bit of a like marley speckle to it. And I also ordered it in pink to make one for Penny because honestly I've enjoyed it so much. I already miss it. I already miss the feeling of brioche. And what I might do is I might tandem knit them, so like do one bit and then the other bit, and after doing this it's going to feel tiny. And I might try and do it like secretly because I think the little girl's birthday is, I think it is in December or January, I'm not sure when, but yeah, no like pressure to get it done by any point. I might not even cast them on immediately, but yeah, I really enjoyed this project so much, and I would love to have a matching one for Penny. I haven't made a jumper for Penny for quite a while, so, and she's grown out of all of her other hand knit jumpers. So I'm going to round this off here because this video is definitely long enough, and I've got therapy in 20 minutes, and I'm a little bit nervous because I'm about to break up with my therapist. It's time. I've been ready for a long time, I think, to stop. It's just so hard to like be like, yeah, I think I'm I don't know, we'll see. I'll probably give myself to the end of the month because I have to pay for the month anyway. Yeah, and then I'm going to use the money I saved on therapy next month on a skip for all the rubbish in my house because I'm just done. I can't even, like, I feel like everywhere I look there is stuff and it's not helping. But anyway, that's podcast for another video. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed this one. I feel like it was just like the coziest, knittiest, autumny vibes. And I've loved filming for you this week. Really enjoyed it, so I hope you did too. I'll mention the Q&A one more time. The link is in the description box below if you have any questions for me. I don't know when I'll film that one. It's just kind of like one to have in the bag for if I have like a really busy week, or if I want a break from vlogging. I probably should take a break from vlogging at some point soon, like an intentional break rather than like a preemptive like break, rather than a I've had enough, I need a break. Does that make sense? But I will see you again next week. Not sure what type of video we'll have, but yeah, I hope you all enjoy your first week of September. Do you remember? And I will see you next time. Bye bye.